Morning, brethren, as we continue with our daily devotions on this subject of the Let Us passages. We're moving into the last few of these, probably up to the end of this week, and next week we begin a new series. For today I want us to turn to the book of Romans and chapter 13, and I'm going to read from verse 11 down to the end of the chapter. And in this section you will note that there are two passages where the phrase "let us" occurs. Paul writes, "Besides this, you know the time, that the hour has come for you to wake from sleep, for salvation is nearer to us now than when we first believed. The night is far gone, the day is at hand. So then, let us cast off all the works of darkness and put on the armour of light. Let us walk properly as in the daytime, not in orgies and drunkenness, not in sexual immorality and sensuality, not in quarrelling and jealousy, but put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh to gratify its desires." So there are two let uses in this section. The first is in verse 12. Paul introduces this let us by reminding his readers that every day that they get up, the ultimate salvation that they are going to enjoy when Christ returns is one day nearer. The night is far gone, the day is at hand. And because we are getting closer and closer to the second coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, we are to conduct ourselves in such a way that we would not be ashamed when he returns. So he goes on and he says, let us cast off the works of darkness. What are the works of darkness? Well, in the picture that Paul paints, things that people do in darkness are obviously sins. And here he's referring to particular sins, sexual sins, drunkenness. He talks about orgies, drunkenness, sensual immorality, sexuality. So these are the sort of things that Paul has in mind. But generally speaking, he is encouraging the Christians in Rome, and Rome of course was the centre of all kinds of immoral behaviour, and he's saying to the Christians in Rome, let us put off all these things, cast them off. It's a bit like once the night's over, you get up in the daytime and you take off your nightwear, your pyjamas or whatever it is you're wearing, and taking them off, you then put something else on, and that is your clothes for the daytime. And Paul says that's what we as Christians are to do metaphorically. We're to cast off the works of darkness and we're to put on the armour of light. Why the armour of light? Because the Christian life is a battle. And every day we rise from our beds and prepare to go out into the day to carry out our responsibilities. We are entering a spiritual battle. There will be battles to be fought. There will be temptation to overcome. So Paul says, put off the works of darkness and let us put on the armour of light. And then he goes on, he says, let us walk properly as in the daytime. He's talking, of course, here using the word walk in the sense of let our behaviour be as it should be. And in order to do that, we are to put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh. Don't give any opportunity to the flesh to satisfy its sinful desires. Put on the Lord Jesus Christ. He will be your protection. He will be your provision. You need him every single day. So it's a case of getting up in the mornings, realising we're in a spiritual battle, looking to Christ, putting on Christ, casting away the sins that so easily beset us, and putting on the armour of God to go out and do battle. Remembering that our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. The Lord Jesus Christ is coming, and every day we waken is a day nearer to his return. That being the case, Let us cast off the works of darkness, put on the armour of light. Let us walk properly as in the daytime, not in orgies and drunkenness, not in sexual immorality and sensuality, not in quarrelling and in jealousy, but put on the Lord Jesus Christ and make no provision for the flesh to gratify its desires. Let's go out into the day in such an attitude of heart, brethren. Every blessing.